Two brutal blasts of winter weather are coming toward the east and the south as we go throughout the next 8 days, which will lead to some serious cold weather, some snow for some, and brutal wind chill values. Hi, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Justice, mapping out these changes and the dips in the jet stream here. We get a pronounced one as we go to tonight into tomorrow. That'll bring in some single-digit wind chill values to western North Carolina, teens in the upstate of South Carolina. That one moves out. We actually recover a little bit. Not as cold in the south as we go into Thursday, Friday, Saturday's time frame, but by Saturday, Sunday, big dip in the jet stream coming in right here, and that is going to send some of us tumbling way down. We're talking wind chill values in the Midwest, 10, 15, 20 degrees below zero, and actual temperatures -5, -6. That stretches into the mountains of North Carolina. East Tennessee could be right around zero temperature-wise with sub-zero wind chill values. Hi, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Justice. If you're new to this channel, please like this video, turn on the notifications, and subscribe right here. That's the best way to stay informed. My whole deal is I provide early indications of severe weather, whatever it might be for your town, whether it be some intense cold, whether it might be snow, severe weather, hurricanes. I like to give you a full picture of what's going on and break down the atmosphere around it. So in this case, we've got some serious cold coming in, but there are signs as we go deeper in the forecast here that we may actually begin to level out. Might have some warmer weather. Looks like the 17th through the 20th, we're going to get some warmer weather to spread into the East Coast. Does it last? It does not look like it. It looks like at least for a little while, but as we go toward Christmas, many of you are hoping for some colder weather. There are some signs that at least some on the East Coast will. Where that sets up, we'll have to see. This is a very interesting pattern moving forward, and we've had a very, very cold pattern so far this December where it has just been so significantly below normal. Where I'm at, our high temperatures are on course to be top 5 coldest on record. Here we are as this big dip in the jet stream begins to move on through Thursday into Friday, lifts a bit to the north, and here comes that second one coming in as we go toward Sunday into Monday. That's the more pronounced cool down. And look at this big ridge back toward the west starts to move in. We begin to melt a little bit after it's been so cold. We get out of the freezer at least for a little while, 17th, 18th, 19th. That's many kids' first, or I should say last day of school, Christmas break starting, and many of us are warmer than we've been all of December. Kind of weird timing, right? Here we are going to the week of the 20th. Things get a little more murky in the model details. I'll be the first to tell you that. And folks, there's a lot going on online these days about how far out you should go in the models. And folks, if you've watched me for any length of period of time on videos here, I give you full context. Here's what I see when I see it, but I caution you with, hey, when we're in kind of no man's land model-wise, I'm quick to tell you that as well. So I always like to give you context as to where I'm aggressive. I do show you just about everything that's going on, but I do it responsibly with some context of what's going on. I don't just throw out a model and not explain it, okay? Here we are going through the pattern moving forward here, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday's time frame. Here comes our first cool down. That one brings in some quick-hitting northwest flow snow to western North Carolina and East Tennessee. It tapers off by midday Thursday, and then our secondary system's beginning to take shape back toward the north. This will be Thursday and Friday. It starts to move as it goes into Saturday. The bone-chilling cold spreading into the Midwest, and then that moves into the eastern half of the United States on Sunday. And look at this big sprawling 1036 high yanking down some cold Canadian air and spilling it in for just about everybody. How cold does it get for your town? Let's look at the very latest European model, then we'll kind of look at some other models to see what it does. Thursday's no joke, folks. I mean, this first one, it's kind of an appetizer of some colder weather. You see sub-zero temperatures. These are not wind chills. These are actual temperatures for Wisconsin and Iowa. That gets into parts of Illinois as we go single digits into Thursday afternoon, Friday morning. And here we are. The wind is going to be howling across parts of North Carolina as Thursday's highs stay in the freezing mark to 35 degrees. It's going to be cold in the mountains of North Carolina northbound. Now, going into Thursday night, Friday's time frame, again, we're talking about those sub-zero temperatures hanging out toward northern Illinois into Wisconsin. I mean, that's cold. That's the atmosphere kind of reloading, getting ready for the next big blast that comes through, and you can see it starting to take shape to the north part of your screen here, and by Saturday morning, here are sub-zero temperatures. These are temperatures, not wind chill values, -10, -15, -20. That is some just nasty, nasty cold coming on through. Through the day on Saturday, it begins to progress off toward the south, and by the time you wake up on Sunday morning, that is now over all of Indiana, all of Illinois, and it's creeping into Ohio now. You're single digits with sub-zero temperatures in western Ohio. And then that gets into Kentucky, where we're talking about 5, 6, 7 degrees. Now, look at Greenville, Spartanburg. Look at Atlanta. Look at Charlotte. Kind of holding on for dear life Sunday morning for the warm weather, but it does not last. By Sunday afternoon, evening, that cold air takes some time to get up and over the mountains. You know, those mountains are 4,000, 5,000 feet tall. Cold air is dense, so that cold air takes a while to fill up. It's like filling up a cup slowly, but eventually it does overflow, and then when it does, it's off to the races. As we move into Sunday evening, temperatures have now dropped to 19 in Asheville, 16 in Knoxville, 10 in Boone, 35 in Greenville, Spartanburg, 31 in Charlotte, and it's windy too, so you're gonna feel it. Now going into Monday morning, check this out. These are temperatures, not wind chill, which I will show you in just a second. The temperatures around 12 in Knoxville, 9 in Boone, 17 in Asheville, 21 in Greenville, 22 in Atlanta, and 20 in Charlotte. Now, going into Monday afternoon, temperatures are not going to budge. Most of us in the South are going to be in the mid to upper 30s for highs. That's about 20 to 25 degrees below normal. As I look at the anomalies here, we're talking 17, 18, 20 degrees below normal. And for that morning, check this out. I mean, we're talking 25 to 35 degrees below normal. The core of this cold air is certainly centered right over Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, and the mountains of North Carolina. That's the coldest of it. Okay, but let's look at the apparent temperature, because there will be a component of wind to this. And folks, this is just plain, just crazy. All right, here we go into Thursday. Let's talk about that one first. Thursday morning, this would be tomorrow night into Thursday morning, waking up to wind chill values in the teens in western North Carolina. It's going to be cold and windy, sub-zero way back here. I mean, this is really cold. Thursday's just a raw day. Birmingham to Atlanta to Greenville to Charlotte, upper 30s for feels like it's going to be cold. Now going into Friday, we kind of rebound a little bit. Most of us not too shabby, but the Midwest beginning to get that colder weather. Saturday's really nice across the South. I think many of us might actually rebound to some 60s from Birmingham to Atlanta. I mean, really warm here toward the Southeast. Florida, you're sitting pretty in the mid-70s, kind of laughing at the rest of us, how cold we're going to be. Now, going into Saturday night, Sunday, here it comes. Boy, oh boy, 25, 30 degrees below zero for a feels-like temperature. Now, going into Monday, here we are Sunday night, -9 in Boone, 2 in Asheville, 29 in Greenville, 4 in Knoxville. It doesn't stop there. Into Monday morning, the wind starts to slack off, but the colder air comes in. I mean, we're talking about overnight, Sunday into Monday, just the peak of this brutalness. Single digits in much of Tennessee, North Carolina, and then teens in South Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama. Now, waking up Monday morning, those wind chill values are widespread in the teens. Just, I mean, coldest morning we've had so far this season. And then Monday, the wind's not as bad by the afternoon, but the feels like temperatures are around 30 to 35 degrees with a sub-zero, and again, that core of that cold air up toward the north. So it's a fleeting batch of colder air. It does not look to linger. But folks, the wind gusts are nothing to play around with. I mean, I really see it getting really windy tomorrow. 35 to 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts in parts of western North Carolina. Higher elevations you go, the windier it's going to be as that northwest flow comes in. Here comes that secondary blast of colder air, brings in more wind upwards of 30 miles per hour. All right, let's look at the GFS. It comes with a little bit of mountain snow here. Northwest flow snow kicks off. East Tennessee gets a little bit. That would be through Wednesday to Thursday. Quick hit of another snow coming in. These are clipper-type systems. Not much, but some for Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky. That spreads off toward the east, and here we go again, reloading again. Saturday's final clipper comes in, brings in more snow to Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, and that pushes off toward the east, and then we're kind of drying out and cooling down. In fact, if we get more precipitation into the middle parts of next week, it's likely to be some light rain moving through Wednesday, Thursday. So we're warming up a little bit, which may make for rain and a better chance for southern storms than snow, okay? Looked at the temperatures here. I did want to show you the GFS snow totals. Here's who's actually going to see accumulating snow. Again, mountains of western North Carolina Wednesday night into Thursday. You get up toward West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Pennsylvania, New York, upstate New York really getting quite a bit. This activates the lake effect snow for a lot. So, I mean, not only is it going to be cold, but it's going to be snow. But it's going to be an inch here, an inch there, an inch here, an inch there, to a week-long total over the next 7 days at about 7 inches in parts of western Pennsylvania, with most of Ohio 2 to 4. Same thing with Indiana and Illinois. Not a lot, and it comes about an inch or so at a time. And the ensembles pretty well support this. This is an average of all the different GFS runs, sitting around the same number. So there's not really anything that's jumping out to me at being, got to watch that one. How about the European? Quick hit of some snow. This is actually a pretty good northwest flow snow event for East Tennessee, western North Carolina. 1 to 3 inches in those typical trouble spots. Here comes another clipper. Boom, right there. Again, each one of these brings an inch or so. Except for the Great Lakes regions that will be activated, and that will send in quite a bit more. So here we are with 1 to 3 in western North Carolina. The same story for East Tennessee and some of these northwest flow communities that typically get them, and then into the areas up toward the northeast where we're talking quite a bit more. The deterministic run, kind of right there in with the AI. There's not much different here on the models. With areas or numbers. I mean, they're all sitting in the same wheelhouse of some snow, but not blockbuster event type snows, okay? So for the South, I just don't have a lot for you. Even the ensembles here that kind of blend together a lot of different solutions, not showing much of an opportunity in South Carolina, Georgia, or Alabama for snow anytime in the future. It's just going to be crazy cold, and that's going to be the pattern here. How about the Canadian? Kind of some quick hit of some northwest flow snow. That comes in, it comes out. Here comes some of those clipper type systems, and here we are with the Canadian doing some Canadian type things, not really giving us a clear picture in the long term. But what I can tell you is the latest outlook here from the Climate Prediction Center, as well as kind of what we're seeing, is that over the next 6-7 days, did I say 6-7? I think I did. Did not mean to do that for those of you out there that are watching with teenagers or elementary school kids. Generally cold the next 6-7 days, but as we go past that, it looks like we're beginning to warm things back up, which will be interesting here as we move on through that time frame here. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now with the way things are going. And as we move forward deeper into the forecast here, I think we're going to see some changes start to roll on through with us, maybe turning just a little bit on the warmer side. So looking at that very closely, I think you're going to see things begin to change. So folks, let me know where you're watching from right now. I like to end each video with a shout out to the last video, where you folks are watching from right now, kind of what's on your mind, what's going on in your neck of the woods. So please let me know what city, what town you're watching in right now, and let's talk about some things here. What's on your mind here? Let's bring up the last video I had, and I want to pause it because I end each video with this, and it gives you an opportunity to ask questions. So in this video, if you'll leave the comments for the next one, I'll be able to answer them here for you. So let's give some shout outs, see what's cooking in the YouTube world here. What do you guys have going on here? So good evening from Powdersville. Hey, hello. Blowtorch coming in just in time for Christmas. Some of the models are showing that. We could be certainly warmer. Elizabethville, Pennsylvania on the Appalachian Trail. Hello for the mountains of North Carolina, Burnsville. Hi, John. Lancaster. Hi there, Ricky. Newport News, Virginia in the house. Hi, Juan. Watching from Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. Hello. Here in Jamestown, New York, we are bouncing around from -2 to -11. Feels like temperatures this morning, with actual temps bouncing around 2 to 0. Urgh. Yikes. Stay warm. Sydney watching in Anderson, South Carolina. Can't wait for snow to play in it with my dog named Hershey. Hi, Hershey and Sydney. I hope you and Hershey get a chance to play in it. That'll be so fun. Please send a picture if you do, okay? Bristol, Pennsylvania in the house. Hi, Vincent. I noticed you mentioned snowpack. As I understand it, snowpack will keep things cooler. Yeah, Derek, it absolutely does. So the snowpack's like transporting your Publix goods, the grocery store goods on ice, right? So it's that refrigerant basically that allows the air masses that move through to be progressively colder because the snowpack's like, keeping things on ice. So 100%, it makes things colder there. Cliffside, North Carolina house. Hi, James. Guess I'll have to go back to New Jersey to see snow again. Hopefully not. I think we're going to have our chance. You're not supposed to get that much snow in December. And January is by far our most active month in the South for snow. Jimmy Hill's watching in Moore, South Carolina. I haven't given a total forecast snow model in the current glance. Different things going on here. Grandfather Mountain, different 10-to-1 ratio as we look at that very closely. Yeah, we got to watch that. Northwest flow does not equate to 10-to-1. You're right about that. But as you know, when you're watching some of that, it can be worth watching because they can really pile up there with the mountains enhancing that. Joseph, Chris Justice, I'm letting everyone know that I'm going to get kidney specialist for my very high blood pressure. Please pray for me. Everybody, please pray for Joseph. Joseph, we are praying for you. Hope that goes well and you're able to get some good prognosis and some good guidance there. Jimmy watching from Hickory. Unfortunately for the Southwest, we are getting little to no snow as usual. Same nothing burgers, winter after winter. Been decades since a memorable snowfall event. So frustrating. Hopefully you get one. All right, we'll keep you posted if you do. Robbinsville, North Carolina. Bluefield, West Virginia. Easily in the house. Will the state of Ohio see any plowable snow? I don't think that much. I mean, we're talking 2 to 4. Nothing crazy. Gene says, hi, Chris. It's way too cold in Jacksonville, North Carolina. I do not like it at all. Please, no snow. I have to travel to Wilmington starting tomorrow as my husband is having triple bypass surgery. I think we'll need to pray for Gene as well. Gene, so sorry to hear that. Hope everything goes well. All right. Michelle says, Ohio. Thank you for watching right now. Folks, please let me know where you're watching from right now and what's on your mind. Give your town, give your city a shout out here, and we'll do it again tomorrow. So I promise to keep you posted. Simply put, looks like we're brutally cold Thursday, turning colder progressively Saturday night, Sunday night. It's a short-lived cool down. Looks like we're really cold Monday, moderating Tuesday, and by this time next week, we're kind of climbing out of it and may actually spend a few days on the warmer side, 17th through 20th as of now. Okay, folks, that's what I got for you right now. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And as always, if you're new to this channel and you stuck around this long and haven't followed the page yet, please go ahead and do so. Time to like this video. Also, give me that shout out where you're watching from right now and turn on those notifications. Hope you have a wonderful, blessed day. We'll keep you posted.